Hello, hello. This is the extended week ahead look. You can go and get the other one on YouTube at my channel. This is the extended for special people look. All right, so right now we have, early this morning we had the moon conjunct Pluto, so we would have been feeling that for especially yesterday. Yesterday might have been a little bit prickly. But anyway, we are transforming, we are moving through things. So now the moon's in Aquarius and it's coming up to conjunct Hygieia, which I love. We've got this overall picture and, what's good for me? Mental health, spiritual well-being, overall well-being, holistic stuff, also your part in the overall wellness of the groups that you're in as well. We can look at this a couple of ways. You could be looking at, we've got this the sun trine moon. It's past, but it's still touching there. The overall wellness and balance in groups or relationships that you have with people. So, anyway, we've got this transformative, what's good for you type of energy happening at the moment. Now, another one was, okay, so the moon is still being ruled by Capricorn, all right? Aquarius, blah, blah, blah. The moon is being ruled by Saturn, all right? Aquarius is Saturn, but the sun is also in conjunct Saturn. So we've got some lessons in the air. Okay, so not only are we like, what's good for everybody and how am I relating to people in my life? And especially the relating bit. All right, so it's only day 2 of the Libran sun. But we're having a bit of a reality check. So what is the reality of where you are right now? And so if you have a look around, and again, with this bigger picture, remember Aquarius is just got that emotional detachment as well. So what's good for the collective and what's good for the bigger picture? All right. Now in the group, we had some sort of people like feeling a bit wishy-washy and like confused thoughts, and I'm just wondering whether we've got with the Mercury trine Jupiter has put everything up into our heads, so we're considering a lot of stuff, and with the Aquarius and with all the stuff that I was just talking about. I've written in the words, can you appreciate how the universe has said yes to the things that occupy space in your mind? All right. Saturn is in Pisces. We're looking at the subconscious. Pluto in Capricorn that we've had this morning. We're transforming these old foundations of ourselves. And Mars is opposing Chiron. All right. So Mars is trying to find balance. Mars is looking for balance and healing so that he doesn't make the same mistakes that he's made before. Venus is all powered up. Now the sun is in Venus's sign. And we're looking at things going, not only have I created my dreams, but I can also create my nightmares. So this is like the reality check. Have a look around. What is real and how has what you're thinking about taken root in the real world for you? All right, that was a very convoluted sort of explanation of today, but it's sort of the theme runs through the week because we've got the Aries full moon on Friday, which is again about me and we. All right, so it's we're looking at ourselves. Chiron's in Aries, the North Node's in Aries. We've got that Mars opposing that stuff. So there's very much a taking responsibility for yourself type of thing right this minute. All right. So that was just today. And I mean, I know today's nearly over, but I still think that it, like I said, the theme is running through the week. All right. So let's go to tomorrow. All right. So tomorrow, the moon in Aquarius is opposing Venus. All right. How does the things that you want for yourself now because of the Venus retrograde. You know, you've let go of the things that don't make you sparkle. You've put your crown back on. Is there something in this that maybe makes you feel selfish? You know, like that humanitarian aspect, or, you know, or is the new version of you, you know, just think of an opposition as, you know, there is tension, but it's whatever it is shining light on each other. So there's issues that need to be addressed. All right. So could your new position as Venus in Leo, has your empowering yourself had ramifications where you are looking out for more people because you know your worth, or that type of thing? Or are you being selfish and not considering other people? You know, there's an opposition. It's just sort of, like I said, you know, they're shining a light on each other. What else have we got? We've got the moon is in conjunct Mercury. All right, so there is tension, there is adjustment required. We've got that one here. You may need to watch your words tomorrow. All right, that moon in Aquarius just does not care about what it says, and Mercury is all about what it says, the specifics, the details, analyzing. Or, you know, a flippant remark from the moon could possibly send Mercury into a meltdown. And the same with that Lilith. You know, that Lilith, I feel like she is quite prepared to bring up some fairly specific details, possibly about the past, or things that haven't been said, due to, you know, like I said, there's just something like flippant about it, or like an offhanded comment, or you know, someone just not considering the ramifications of their words because it's Aquarius. All right, so watch your words, especially if you feel challenged. Big deep breath. Now, we have been there and done that. This is a point that Venus has already been past. All right, so we're coming up to, you know, the third hit of Venus Uranus this week, where she is, you know, definitively saying no, you know, making adjustments. I don't feel, or that's not of value to me anymore. So, you know, there could be some prickliness around tomorrow, but that's okay, because you guys you've got it all. You know, we're all playing fair and being aware of our words. And another consideration I'm just sort of thinking about now is listen to people without trying to figure out what you're going to say back. Just give, I don't know, I don't care if you have to give them a dumb stare. It's you listen wholeheartedly and then consider from a position where you don't want to repeat past mistakes. You don't want to be doing the same thing over again. So if you're in a conversation, you know, we've got Mars in Libra coming up for this full moon. You know, there is a certain amount of, can we find even ground? Can we, you know, can we collaborate? Can we, you know, can we find a resolve? So just be careful that there is, you know, you're choosing to do things differently now. Don't speak straight away. Stop and consider. Maybe consider if they're coming from a place of hurt. If you are having these, if you are having, you know, these conversational challenges tomorrow. All right. Sorry, that I'm a bit unsettled today. All right, let's go forward to Wednesday. All right. Now, Wednesday, the moon moves into Pisces at 10:20 or 10:18 a.m. So first of all, moon moves into Pisces, 10 o'clock. All right. We could get a little bit vague. You know, we might just sort of, you know, fuzz out a little bit, but that's all right. At 12:30, we've got the moon conjunct Saturn. As long as we are aware, you know, we could have that, you know, that subconscious discipline. There's been so many people doing amazing work because they have found a way to discipline their mind and their thoughts. I mean, I was like surprised at how many conversations I had last week about that, and so very proud and pleased that people are taking accountability for themselves and choosing to do things differently. All right, so that's going to be Wednesday. So around, or like I said, if you got to get stuff done, just have it written down and remember the whole overall bigger picture. By 12:30, when that moon conjunct Saturn, we're probably going to be sure enough within ourselves that we're going to be able to get stuff done. In addition to that, the sun is trine Hygieia all week. All right, so what is good for you? What's the overall well-being that we can achieve? The sun in Libra wants balance. Hygieia, there in Aquarius, just wants mental health. All right, so it is what is, choose mental health. If you're looking for a decision, what's good for me? Hygieia in Aquarius, what's good for everybody? All right, so find balance with looking for how everybody can benefit from this experience. All right, now in the afternoon on Wednesday, there could be a little bit of tension. We've got the moon in conjunct the sun at 4:30. Now, Mercury is also trine Uranus and in conjunct Chiron on Wednesday. All right, so we're thinking a little bit differently. That Mercury Jupiter is finished, but now with the Uranus coming through, it's like, okay, so now we have this understanding. How can we do things differently? All right. And the in conjunct to Chiron, Mercury in conjunct Chiron, is like, okay, previously that has been a pain point for me. I now know this. Where am I going to change my trajectory? Where, I mean, you could also have unpredictable things thrown at you. Maybe you have a conversation that is just like out of the blue that rattles you a little bit. But ultimately, we are making adjustments because we've learned lessons. And like I said, we've got this Venus coming up to her final square of Uranus. Been there, done that, guys. You have a sense of what is going to come and what the ramifications are of doing the same thing over and over again. So we're not doing that anymore. And also, Venus has started her trine to the North Node. So again, like if we put it all together, there is a clear path forward now. All right. So, even though we've got these new understandings and we're changing things, we can at least see that we're heading that way. All right. Now, the moon is also, Mars is also is conjunct the South Node here. So yes, there's hurts, but by healing the hurts, we're going in the right direction. By understanding and letting go of the things that we no longer need, we are letting that shit go. So good stuff is happening. All right. Okay, in the words I also wrote, getting out of your comfort zone can be an uncomfortable, but it's a state of being we are in control of. Reframe, rethink, reassess, and redo. All right. Okay, let's go forward to Thursday. All right, so the moon in Pisces opposing Mercury in Virgo around 4 p.m. on Thursday. So if you do have any type of business, or if you need to have a specific conversation with someone, or you need the details to be specific, please make sure that you are listening, dotting I's, crossing T's. That just the moon opposition Mercury, it just could make things fuzzy and the details unclear. So if you do have something that's important, just double, triple check. All right, there now in the morning we have the moon sextile Jupiter, which is awesome. We might get a really good sense of oh, what am I feeling here? We could just have an emotional sense of maybe a really good feeling in the morning. And then, because we're going to have foggy haziness anyway, it's Pisces. So, but, we've still got the sun is trine Hygieia. We're just heading in the right direction, making sure that we are doing what is right for us and those involved. All right, so what else have we got? That Mercury in conjunct Chiron on Thursday is exact at 8:20 a.m. So by then, all right, like I was saying, the Mercury Jupiter gave us the overall understanding. The Mercury Uranus is allowing us to shift our direction. And then the Mercury in conjunct Chiron is sort of like we have taken into consideration what has happened previously, and we are allowing ourselves to use that Uranian energy to change what we're doing. All right. I feel like that's enough for Thursday. Friday. All right, so the full moon is at 7:56. I'm just going to go forward and actually get there. 7:30 minutes. Okay, you know how it is. Everybody's out there going, oh my God, so awesome. I'm like, this one's gonna be fun. All right. Okay, look at this. All we've got here, the moon, the only thing it's doing is talking, it is opposing the sun. All right. So there is this individual, there is this emotional state of, it's quite strong, but it can also be a little bit immature. It can be brash. All right. We want to be careful that we're not just rushing in headlong, going, I want to do it. I want to do it. Okay. So we're just going to calm down a little bit. All right. So the sun's over here being ruled by this very sassy and headstrong Venus now. All right. Now with Mars, okay, so the moon is ruling, Mars is ruling the moon, which is conjunct the south node. All right. We're coming up to eclipse season. All right. So these stories are going to continue to play out. What else do I have? Okay. Now in the morning, we have the moon is going to conjunct. All right, so the moon is conjuncting Neptune in the morning, and then when it moves into Aries at 10 o'clock, it's going to, the fog will clear. All right, so the Aries moon Mars heat will probably dissipate some of the fogginess. So by the afternoon, things that may have been hidden will become clearer. So like I said, we could be impulsive. So think before you act, and don't just rush in and be like, overall this week, we're just trying to be careful with our words, like really pay attention to where your thoughts are going and what you like. Don't just blurt shit out. All right. Now, what else do we have? Okay. Now, and then an analogy that I got was maybe the final straw can be seen. All right. So this is the me versus we. All right. The sun in Libra, who is the we just want to play nice, find balance, cooperate, collaborate. And the Aries moon is just like, let's do it. Mars is not happy. He's getting irritated that he's not here for too much longer, but he's still in detriment. All right. So he's already struggling for strength. And with the south node there, which is basically just a toilet bowl of letting shit go, the final straw can be seen. Do you want to wait for it to break, or do you just want to walk away? Or can you have a conversation that needs to be had? All right. So, I mean, the other day, Lilith was closer to Mercury than it is at this point. But this Venus Uranus square, which is exact at 3:20 the following morning, so that is only 7 hours later. So Venus is here, and she's said no enough times now. All right, so this could be make or break for quite a few people. It could be very busy, but it could be make or break. We're letting go of outdated activities. There is temper in the air. This immature moon could spark an argument where this, powered up Venus, Libran sun could be like, enough. That is enough. And we're not going there, which is just, leading into that final square. All right, so consider that sort of stuff. I mean, it could be so amazing. You could be going into a business meeting and being so brave and speaking your truth and not accepting the limitations that you have previously had. There are some really positive things here. And I hope those things happen for you. I just feel like there might be the other stuff. So there you go. All right, let's move forward to Saturday. Okay. All right, so Saturday morning, there could still be some tension. All right, we do have the moon in Aries trine Venus in Leo. All right, so they're having a good conversation, but the moon is conjunct Chiron and opposing Mars. Is it opposing Mars? Yes, it's going to come. Okay, so it's the moon is conjunct Chiron. It is remembering its Hertz. It is opposing its ruler here. So, imagine this, like in a relationship where Mars was possibly the instigator of this rash behavior, these wordy words. And again, this does not have to be masculine or feminine. This is Mars energy. All right. So the Hertz could be getting brought up, and maybe they're the things that need to be spoken about and released or walked away from. Okay. Once Mars gets over the hurt, it can then find the right way forward. There's definitely that there's a possibility. Maybe having an attitude of gratitude can help things move forward with some healing vibes and the honest conversation. All right. So, I mean, Mars and Lilith are apart now, but Mercury is coming up to trine this Uranus, a new objective, a new way, stop doing the same thing over and over again. We are trying different things. All right. So Mercury actually could very well make decisive action, because of the position that Venus is in, because of all the things that have happened. Mercury could be like, that's enough. It very well could be enough. Mercury is in such good condition in its own sign. And moving quite fast right now as well. So consider that, guys. Consider that. That is pretty much all day on Saturday. Now, Sunday we have. Let's just go into Sunday. Sunday, the moon moves into Taurus at lunchtime. All right, so we've got a definite 2-part day on Sunday. So in the morning, you could be. It's sextile Saturn square Pluto. All right. So, maybe if you have Sunday morning chores or something like that, or if you want to go do something, there is an aspect where square Pluto, it is quite foundational. There is the ability to get some hard work done, but you definitely need to take a couple of minutes to plan, so you're not just rushing out there and then potentially getting the irritation of the moon square Pluto. All right, so because it's Capricorn here, and don't allow Saturn in Pisces and that vagueness to be the thing that makes you kick your toe and get the irrits. All right. But after lunch, 12:18 p.m., definitely way more grounded. Now, Venus is also opposing Saturn. All right. So she's just starting this opposition to Saturn on Sunday. So this could look like, oh, okay. If shit comes to shove on Friday and there are, and Saturday and there are words, then, there might be some sort of determined action that needs to take place where you need to actually apply yourself to do something. I know, I mean, I'm not talking about everybody breaking up, but, the leftover energy from the full moon and Saturday, you might just need to be finalizing something, or some sort of effort is required to stop. And then in the afternoon, you can chill out and ground down a little bit. So, okay, I hope this has helped your preparation for the week. I will pause record. Okay, so let's go now to what is Venus doing this week. I'm going to miss this when we finish this block. Is it going to open? All right, okay. All right, so now what is Venus doing this week as week 15 of our coaching course, whatever this is. Okay, so we now have the sun in Libra. All right, so we're now looking at the relationships in our life. And now that Venus has done her thing and she's feeling empowered and strong and making decisions that, you know, serve her so well now. This full moon in Aries, it's, you know, there are some, you know, some strong individual things that can be gleaned from this. All right. So relationships probably look really, really different right now. All right. So what's happening with the moon? All right. So moon in Aquarius opposing Venus at 6:30 p.m. on Tuesday. So Tuesday evening, I spoke about that in the week ahead. You know, I mean, this could be a situation where you may look, I mean, either way, really. Do you look selfish or selfless? Are you sacrificing too much of your needs to for other people? All right, so Aquarius, other people, Venus here on stage, she could just, you know, there could be a little bit of exhaustion, and opposition is tension. All right, so think about that one. Or maybe the group of people think that you're selfish because you are taking time for yourself. I hope that doesn't work out negatively for you, but heads up, it's there. All right, and then on Thursday we have the moon in Pisces in conjunct Venus at 9 p.m. So I mean, you know, it's an in conjunct. It's only just got such a small window. It could be from about 7 p.m. We could be just like, what's going on? What did I say? Oh, hang on a minute. What did I plan? Could be that type of thing. So you know, just be self-assured, or I don't know, fucking, you know me, write it down. So anyway, so that was Moon and Venus. Now, Venus is sextile Mars. All right, so they are stimulating each other, guys. All right, so arousing passion, heightened senses, direct your energy wisely. However, now Venus is in a good position and Mars is not. All right, so here's another indicator that the feminine energy is on top this week. And I don't mean that derogatory whatsoever, but Mars is just not in a like he's a bit flat, you know, he's opposing Chiron, he's in detriment, you know, he's just probably doesn't have the fight. I mean, no, he just does not have the fight. All right, so he's in the air sign, all his heat is just, you know, he could even that Mars in Libra, is he just spouting hot air? Maybe, I don't know. Anyway, they are sextile. However, they are only in that sextile until Wednesday morning, where they turn around and start moving apart. I think we were talking about this last week. They only they join each other in Aquarius in February next year. So, you know, they're still just playing games with each other. All right. And of course, the Venus square Uranus, which is, so we are revisiting. Can someone just mute? I don't know who it is, but if you could just mute, because I'm getting all this sound. So be great. Thanks. Okay, so Venus square Uranus, we are revisiting the 3rd of July and the 9th of August. All right, so Uranus in Taurus was all about us looking at different avenues where our senses came in, our values, our self-worth, our finances. You know, what have you done financially different since the beginning of this? Since, you know, June, there could have been, you know, I don't know if you guys remember when we had Venus in conjunct Neptune and Pluto, which is coming up again, but it's going to be later on. So not part of the shadow, where there was frivolous spending. All right. So I know we were talking about it, and I know I had some frivolous spending moments. So, you know, have you addressed any of your financial situations differently? You know, have you done your budget, or, you know, chosen weekly or fortnightly payments, organized payment plans with people, stuff like that? All right. And like I said, with the senses, Taurus also ruling food, you know, have you changed your diet? You know, are you just, you know, purely thinking differently about what comfort and security look like to you? You know, maybe you had a pre-existing story of what your requirements were to feel like you are rich. And then you get it and you're like, oh, actually, this isn't what I want, you know? So I know we even said that statement last week, careful what you wish for, because it might just come true, you know, especially if you know, if you were just going along with the crowd and you just wanted what everyone else wanted and then you got it and you were like, oh, this is not actually, or, you know, in Venus's case, you know, she found her self-worth, and then you find yourself in a relationship, Sun in Libra, and you're like, actually, this is not what I wanted. This is what you wanted. And I just went along with you because that's what I always thought I had to do. So could be these type of things. All right. So 3:20 a.m. on Saturday. So this was, like I said, this was continuing on from that Aries full moon into Saturday, where there's some hard no's happening, you know, and they are only for your benefit. All right. So we're just continuing, or you know, we can rush headlong around a corner and smash into someone, or we can, you know, make it the pedestal that we are putting ourselves up on, or, you know, the steps that we are then moving and leveling up on. So all right. So it feels different this time, and you are addressing issues with fresh experience. All right. So be careful of unpredictable, erratic behavior and swift changes. And again, you know, the full moon, it's going to bring up some stuff that needs releasing. Mars South Node, you know, you can see from this whole thing that you can get a pretty good idea what this week coming is going to give you. All right. Okay, and the last bit of Venus trine, North Node, sextile South Node. Now we get the North Node comes in, I think maybe a day or two before the South Node. So in this case, like I was written here, new chapters are coming into focus. The North Node being in Aries. So Venus, in, you know, there is this fire aspect, there's inspiration, like, you know, like I keep saying, Venus is confident and queenly, you know. So while she's looking at this North Node in Aries, she's like, I am independent, I can do this, you know. So when we get to the sextile, which is harmonious, of the South Node, the stuff that we need to release, which is conjunct Mars, which is ruling the North Node. So there's push and pull everywhere this week, guys, and the main focus of it is you know she's going to easily release codependency and easy release enmeshment, and you know, these old stories of behavior in Libra that are no longer suitable or needed. All right. So Uranus, full moons, all of the things this week are just allowing you to release old issues with ease and understanding. All right. So I don't know if I read it, but I'll read it again. New chapters coming into focus. Your realizations are creating a new version of you, and it may feel destined because it is the nodes. All right. So like I said, also we've got the eclipses coming up. So, you know, these are going to play into, because it is Aries and Libra, play into what we're going to be experiencing next month as well. So as much as you can do the work now, I mean, we've been doing the work for 15 weeks now. So, you know, this is why I feel like, you know, you're probably understanding exactly what this looks like in your life. And it's just maybe giving you that bit of confidence and clarity to move through it a lot easier. So let me just, all right. So that's the end of Venus in, hang on. Yeah, come on. Why is it not working? Oh, no, that's not it. All right, I'm just going to stop share. Oh, there we go. Okay, and so for the last bit, we have things to ponder. All right. So how are you feeling about your relationships now? 2 days into Libra. All right. So we have released Virgo. We have served ourselves well. You know, we've been looking at all of those, you know, the details. We've been looking at the details, served ourselves, and now you're looking at your relationships and how they are serving you. All right. So how are you feeling about them? Okay. what unexpected changes have occurred in the last 15 weeks? You know, were there any surprises? All right, we've got the last square to Uranus. What, you know, were there unpredictable events happened, ramifications that you had no idea that would come of it? And, you know, now we've had this third hit. You know, did you think that you would be on this path? Did you think at all that it would look like the way it does now? Okay. All right. Going into the Taurus stuff, I know I just said it in the other one, but what financial changes have you gone through? Does your future look different now? And have you implemented the necessary changes needed yet? All right. So if, you know, if financially you weren't in a great position and you realized that, and you, I don't know, you made the effort for financial literacy or whatever, you know, maybe it was your personal value, you know, did you not value yourself enough? And maybe the universe has set you up, maybe you're getting positive feedback on things, you know, so therefore changing your self-worth. What else? Again, with diet, you know, like I said, it says finances here, but it could also be diet. You know, have you changed your diet and now you're starting to feel better and look better and move better? Maybe you've reduced some allergies or irritations or food sensitivities. Uranus absolutely triggers food sensitivities. So maybe, maybe it could have reduced anxiety or nerves or rashes or stuff like that. I mean, there's a whole lot of irritants that could be alleviated by just figuring out this stuff and implementing changes. Okay, so again, food absolutely fits in there. All right. Now, as far as the Aries full moon goes, what about your relationship makes you feel less than as an individual? All right. So, codependency, dominant and submission, and I don't mean that in a BDSM way. I just mean, a dominant energy that just wants things done their way, that's, the light has been shone on that. So just another thing to expect for this Aries full moon. All right. Can you find balance by speaking up? Like I said, Mars ruling the moon next to the South Node, it does allow things to be released. Can you use the emotional bravery of an Aries full moon to address the imbalance in relationships? All right. So that's direct keywords right there. Can you find balance by speaking up? Or can you find some common ground or a compromise? Like I said about the the final straw, do you want it to break or do you want to just walk away? Is it worth the effort to speak up? Lilith and Mercury in Virgo, like Mercury in Virgo is going to be quite happy to sit down and have a detailed look at what needs to be spoken about. So, there's definitely work to be done this week. And I hope that this has helped your heads up for the week. So let's stop share and